먹기 전 가까운 현장에서 쓸 수 있는 영어들을 한번 짤막짤막하게 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Talk about some Korean table manners. There are some traditional manners at the dinner table in Korea. First, if you are amongst elders, you shouldn't start eating until the oldest person does first. It's also rude to leave the table before the elders leave. All the food is shared from the middle of the table as opposed to taking individual portion. Koreans are used to sharing from a bowl of soup or stew. You may see a group of people putting their spoons in the same pot, which can be very awkward for Westerners. Blowing your nose at the table is considered very impolite. There are also many rules for drinking at the table. If someone older wants to pour you a drink, it's better to accept that than to reject. These table manners have roots in Korea's Confucian hierarchy. Korean fast food place. Talk about eating Korean fast food. When I was a kid, my friends and I used to go to a Korean fast food place. It was right in front of our school, and we went there after class. I ate various types of noodle and rice dishes there. They also had different types of Korean street food. If everything was relatively cheap, the owner knew us well because we were regulars. She used to give us free dumplings sometimes. I can still remember how delicious the food was. I have been to many high-end restaurants. However, that fast food place is still one of my favorites. Looking back, it was a big deal to go there when I was young. 호빵, 호빵. Talk about the popular Korean winter snack hoppang. When I was in elementary school, I had to commute to school by bus every day. My mom used to give me 100 won for the daily bus fare. Every so often, I would just walk home to save 50 won. It wasn't easy for an 8-year-old kid to walk for half an hour, especially in the winter. With my hard-earned 50 won in my pocket, I would triumphantly run into a small store to buy hoppang. Hoppang is a steamed bun made of wheat flour dough filled with all kinds of different fillings. Back then, it only came in one flavor, red bean paste. Nowadays, there are a variety of fillings, including vegetable, ham and cheese, curry, pizza, and much more. Talk about the problems you have had with your computer. My laptop computer is an indispensable part of my day-to-day life. For both work and play, I can't make do without it. However, my laptop has been the cause of many headaches. Rebooting is often a solution. Once my laptop became very sluggish. It took longer to launch application. It turned out that It had been impacted with a virus. I had to reformat the whole thing. Some things are hard to fix. When the monitor malfunctioned, I had to take it in for repairs at the service center. I'm the one to blame for problems sometimes. I've lost many important files when I forgot to save them properly. Talk about the Korean Furniture Museum. I've always been so fascinated by Korean traditional furniture. Its design possesses the understated beauty and extreme simplicity. When this humble artwork is properly placed in a hanok, traditional Korean house, it silently put on air of elegance and show its aesthetic beauty. There is one place in Seoul where you can experience everything I just mentioned. It's called the Korea Furniture Museum, situated atop a hill in Sangbuk-dong. This magnificent collection of more than 2,000 pieces of varied furniture is housed inside 10 exquisite Hanok buildings. It's a great place to explore the domestic lifestyles of Joseon Dynasty. Working out at the gym. Talk about your workouts at the gym. I can't make it through the day without exercising. I go to the health club in the building where I live to work up a sweat almost daily. I start by limbering up with some light stretching. Then I hit the treadmill for about 30 minutes. Next, I use dumbbell for a muscular workout on my arms. Then I use the exercise machine for weight training on my lower body. I especially zero in on my thigh muscle. Finally, I wind down with cardio exercise for about 10 minutes to loosen up my stiff muscle. I didn't always exercise so much. There was a time when I got no exercise at all because of the daily grind. I often felt under the weather and I packed on the pounds. That's why I started to exercise. Now, it's one of the most important things on my daily to-do list. Talk about a car accident you had in the past. I remember getting into a car accident several years ago. I was driving and there was a red light ahead, so I stopped. However, the car behind me wasn't paying attention and rear-ended me. The crash was quite serious. My back bumper was completely dented in. I also got whiplash from the impact. I didn't have to stay in the hospital, but I had to wear a neck brace for a while. I got compensated for the damages. The other driver's insurance company covered all the expenses. Ever since the accident, I always make sure to drive more carefully. I haven't had an accident recently. Whiplash. Describe your kitchen at home. My kitchen looks like a typical Korean kitchen. There is the sink, the gas stove, the fridge, and lots of cabinet. There is a separate refrigerator just for kimchi. I keep dishes, cups, pots, frying pans, and food containers in the cabinet. I keep all my condiments in the cabinet under the stove. As for appliances, there is the microwave, the rice cooker, the coffee maker, and the blender. My kitchen is connected to the utility room. I have my washer there. The water purifier and the dining table are in the kitchen as well. The dining table separates the living room and the kitchen. Poor eyesight. Talk about when your eyesight had got worse. I have very poor eyesight. Without my glasses, I'm as blind as a bat. I have to squint my eyes to see things. I always sit in the front row for class. I tried to wear contacts, however, they hurt my eyes. I have no choice but to wear glasses around the clock. Recently, I had trouble seeing clearly. It was so bad, I couldn't get my work done. I went to get an eye exam. I got new glasses with a stronger prescription. I would like to get eyesight correction surgery. Many of my friends have gotten laser surgery on their eyes. However, my doctor advised against it. She couldn't guarantee success. Aging society. Talk about the aging society. Korea's population is aging at a rapid clip. The life expectancy is increasing at the highest rate in the world. Sooner than later, we'll be a super-aged society. As the population ages, we need to hedge against various issues. The birth rate is so low in Korea that we need to make provisions very carefully. Long-term management plans are needed for the national pension system, since fewer people are paying while more are receiving. Various welfare policies for the elderly are also needed. The lack of support for such welfare policies is emerging as a major social problem. The budget allocated to welfare for senior citizens will have to be hiked up. A social consensus is also needed to better take care of the elderly. Talk about when you got a medical checkup. I have been receiving medical checkup without fail every 2 years. I received a checkup recently as well. I had to go on a fast the day before to receive gastroscopy and colonoscopy procedure. The day of the checkup began with body measurement. My heart, the weight, the blood pressure, eyesight, and lung capacity were measured. Then I had blood samples taken, and I turned in a urine sample. Next, more in-depth test took place. First, I got an ultrasound of my stomach. Next, I took medicine to move my bowels so that I could get an endoscopy. I did my business in a waiting room. This was necessary for a clean endoscopy procedure. They put me under and I received my gastroscopy and the colon, colonoscopy, colonoscopy procedure at once. When I came to in the recovery room, it felt like it happened in a flash. After the procedure, I went over the video myself while the doctor explained it. I received the test results 2 weeks later. Aside from slightly high blood pressure, I had a clean bill of health. Talk about the Korean theme parks. Yeah, Korea has its share of theme parks. There are several major ones in Seoul and the surrounding region. Plus, there are local theme parks in each city as well. These parks have all sorts of rides for all age groups. Some of them also had a zoo attached to them. People can watch wild animals and go on ride at the same time. There are various events that take place throughout the year. There are seasonal parades, flower festivals, or leisure shows. Major theme parks are also open until late at night. People can enjoy the festive mood even after the sun goes down. The overall mood of these parks is very family oriented. You can also commonly see couples out on dates or students out on their field trips at theme parks. Talk about rice cookers in Korean household. Koreans eat the steamed rice every single day when they have meals. Most households have a rice cooker. You just have to wash the rice, send it in the rice cooker, and press the cook button. Normally, it takes 30 minutes max for the machine to cook rice. It also keeps the rice in it warm as long as you have it on. Meanwhile, rice cookers do a lot more than just to cook rice these days. They come with various functions. You can cook all sorts of stuff, such as eggs in them. Another useful function is the preset timer. You can make it cook rice automatically in the morning. You just have to set the timer before you go to sleep. Talk about the new semester in September. In Korea, the school year begins in March. Summer break follows the first semester. The second semester then kicks off in September or August. New classes get underway in the new semester. Students receive new class schedules. College students also sign up for classes and begin attending lectures. The second semester comes to a close after final week and winter break begins. Talk about how you felt when a new academic year started back in school. I have fond memories of the times when a new grade began back in school. In middle school and high school, I got to know their friends. In a new classroom, we all wondered who our new homeroom teacher would be. The first week was a break-in period. Since everything seemed unfamiliar, for a while I felt down because I was in a different class from friends that I had gotten attached to. In college, I remember getting up at the break-up day to sign up for classes. I also recall how good it felt to see friends again after taking a semester off.